Jai Satchidanand Pulinanandji. Jai Satchidanand Kashyap Bhai.
Jai Satchidanand.
Jai Satchidanand Lalita Ben, Lata Ben.
एक मिनट. Okay, Jai Satchidanand Pulinanandji, Deepakanandji, Mahatma. Pulinanandji, can you do 3 mantra, please? Everybody follow.
Namo Vitragaya.
Namo Vitragaya.
Namo Arihantanam.
Namo Arihantanam.
Namo Siddhanam.
Namo Siddhanam.
Namo Ayariyanam.
Namo Ayariyanam.
Namo Vasayanam.
Namo Vasayanam.
Namo Loe Sawa Sahuna.
Namo Loe Sabba Sahonam.
Eso Panchanamukaro.
Eso Panchanamukaro.
Saubhava Panasano.
Sarvabhava Pranasano.
Manglanancha Saudesim.
Mangalanam cha Savesim.
Vardamam Havai Mangalam.
Havai Mangalam.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namah Shivaya.
Om Namah Shivaya.
Jai Satchidanand.
Jai Satchidanand.
Jai Satchidanand, Mahatma. Last Tuesday, we left it at Vyavasthith Shakti, scientific evidences. We have to look in who's the doer and look at the Anterskran to see who's the doer and identify separation and experience.
I do.
Okay.
I just want to share that, when I leave it to Vyavasthith and absolve myself of doership, things just seem to go smoothly. That's just an observation I noticed. It's when I fret and do a lot of hand wringing and think I have got to do this, I've got to do that, that everything goes topsy-turvy. So it's just recently, I keep pulling myself back and so I keep telling myself I'm not the doer and that Vyavasthith is the doer and I'm only the observer. And it has made a difference, just pulling back and absolving myself of doership. That's what I wanted to share.
What difference are you seeing in the activities done after you do that?
Pardon me?
If you remind yourself about that, what difference do you see in the activities?
It's just that the activities go smoothly. I mean, it's my worry is out of the equation.
Yeah.
And it just happened. Things just happen,
Yes.
Case in point, tomorrow is Dr. Radhe's Shraddh, So I was just in a turmoil thinking I've got all these things to do. And then I told myself, you're not the doer. Just simply watch and see what happens. And literally a weight lifted off my shoulders, and I'm just letting things happen. There is a kriya that I'm performing, that this file number 1 is performing, but I'm simply observing her. And to me, I've just noticed that one, it lightens the load because I'm not the doer and just observing.
Very good experience. Pulinanandji?
You're right. It is, when we are the doer, it's in the intellect and ego in tandem, which they play the part. I have to do this, I have to do that. So much time, so much planning, all that thing comes in because of the intellect associated with the ego. I have to do this means ego, then how to do it means the intellect. So when those are there, then all this pressure builds up. This is not right, this is so much time is going, he or she is not responding, like that. And what happens is once all that goes away, so that pressure goes away that I have to do it. I'm part of Vyavasthith and one of the elements of the doership. You're
Yes.
organizing an event. It is your desire to organize that event or do whatever, that puja or something. And that is the intention setting. And then it is by whatever activities you have to do, but without any pressure of ownership, you see. And I have to do it, and what will happen if it's not working and all that. So that is where the load goes off. Basically, the pressure of the outcome we release. It's like organizing a party at your home and a party being organized at your friend's home where you are one of the assistant or helpers to that person. So then when it's others' event, then you are not under pressure on the outcomes. When it is your event, there is a pressure on the outcomes. It should be proper, this, that. That pressure is built up by buddhi, intellect. So once that goes away, I'm not the doer, and there's no pressure on the outcomes. The weight of of your shoulders, as you said, went away, and you felt light. That is one way of looking at it. And otherwise, from Dada's viewpoint, anyway, the event was to happen. You were inspired to take lead, and then it's going to fall in place by way of Vyavasthith. So that is the other way. And the third way is lagam chhodi do, as Dada Bhagwan used to say.
Yes.
Means we are letting go of that, lagam. So it just flows. And then we realize that apart from intention setting and then cursory taking efforts or taking the actions, things flow otherwise also.
That is really an eye opener, because I mean, this is such a stress and ulcer building situation when you take on doership. I've got to do it, and it's got to be this way, and it's got to be just so that it's so clear now that the damage we do to ourselves by inflicting such pressures on ourselves.
True. That is why Dada Bhagwan said, Vyavasthith is the doer. Your intention is one of the things, Dravya, Kshetra, Kad, Bhav, as they said, 4 elements are there. So your bhav, your intention, your desire to do it, and then the other 3 elements will fall in place. They don't happen automatically. We have to do whatever role play we have to do in terms of people are organizing events, but the pressure that it should be done like this and should be done, that pressure goes away. Once you either leave it to Dada or leave it to Vyavasthith. Whatever either you please take, or I have submitted this file to you. That is one of the ways people do it when they are unable to handle the situation. And in this case, when you feel you're able to handle, you feel you are the doer, the intellect and ego are participating, then that pressure builds up. And that you have removed by saying Vyavasthith is the doer.
I mean, he has so categorically said that Vyavasthith is the doer, but like you said, lagam chhodte nahi hai hum. We can't let it go. But it was an eye opener because I personally experienced it. So, Jai Sachidanand. Thank you.
And that is true. You see, lagam chhod do is one of the integral things, or one of the very nice purushas suggested by Dada Bhagwan to experience Vyavasthith Shakti in operation first hand. If you want to see how Vyavasthith is operating, just leave it and then you will see, yes, circumstances and situations come together and then event takes place. So this was a step in that direction. When you said, I'm not the doer, yes, is doer. Basically, you lagam chhod do, and then you have now this experience. Now the takeaway is this experience will now motivate you to put this into practice even in further events or situations. And once that comes into play, then you become very free flowing. Very free
Correct.
flowing.
You know, all this time it was half-hearted lagam chodna. You know, like, what if I let go and things don't go right? You know, is it going to fall? Is it going to crash? That kind of a situation. But this time, literally, Dada has said this categorically, and I'm going to follow it. Period. You can do whatever you want, kind of stuff, and that made a difference. Just
Yeah. So
letting go completely.
True. One experience will propel you to repeat this purusharth in future also.
Yes.
And then that is the way where we subdue our intellect or buddhi. And then we accept Vyavasthith. True. Very nice experience. Jai Sachin.
Thank you, Jai Sachin.
Jai Sachidanand. One aspect, whenever situations come like this, when you are really emotionally affected, then intellect will always try to confuse you with various results, which in the prevailing condition won't be possible. But because of that intellect intervention like this, you are unable to, you get confused. Now, what am I supposed to do? So you are unable to make any decision. But in those such moments, when you say Vyavasthith, let us leave it to Vyavasthith, then all other evidences which are necessary for things to happen will naturally come from others also, like your daughter, your son, your relatives. But when things come like that, your intellect, intercepts wrongly, interprets things wrongly. That is where we get into trouble. Apart from that, what Dada has said, Sahaj Aprayatna Dasha. What it means, think of all the possibilities, which is natural for things to happen from your side. That should happen. And that naturally happens. But when you close that window, then that is where you can go wrong, I'm saying. So one of the evidence is from your side also. But it is like when you want to do some certain thing desperately, then you will involve yourself totally. But when you don't want to do it, then you try to run away. So there are different aspects which contributes for things to happen. But what you did in your situation, because you were so much emotionally attached, Lalita. So when you left to Vyavasthith, everything fell in its place and everything went so well. So we have to look at the situation when those what do you say decisions are obvious. In the sense, anybody would make a decision in that regard. That time, you cannot leave things to others. You understand what I'm trying to say? Certain thing, for example, let me say, Rani has done something, and that is where your intervention is necessary as mother. You can't leave it to Vyavasthith.
No.
You won't leave it to Vyavasthith, rather, I will say that. Your decisions are clear and firm. No way. This is what you have to do. Do you understand?
Yes.
When things are quite clear in situations, in those moments or in those situations, you will not live to Vyavasthit. Do you understand that?
I do. But is that not also part of Vyavasthith?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Part of your Vyavasthith means your intervention is necessary. And
Correct.
that time, just you want to, at times, let's say, if you are too much close and you like Rani so much that you don't want to tell her anything which would hurt her, but it is going to take her to a wrong direction, then because of that, those wrong emotions, you will be misguiding her by leaving it to Vyavasthith.
Okay. Yes.
I just give one example what Dada has given. One day when Mahatma came and said, Dada, you said that you don't tell anything, don't speak anything at home. So from last 15 days, I had not been telling anything and I was just seeing and observing, that is, see and perceive things and just keep watching everything what's happening. Dada, you know what did Dada said? He thought that Dada will be very happy and bless him. Dada said, are you a stone? I didn't tell you to become a stone. You are a living entity at home. You be watchful what others are doing, and if necessary, you have to say.
Yes.
Do you understand? I mean, I'm just trying to give an example that it should not be one-sided. Lagam chhodi do doesn't mean that where things are obvious, where you have to, contribute something. It is part of the Vyavasthith.
Yes.
Lagam chhodi do is part where you're intellectual intervention comes, which causes disturbance for Vyavasthith to happen in its order.
Like
you understand
somebody
that?
is crossing the road and you pull them back if there's traffic.
Correct.
That
And
is
the
an
thing Vyavasthith.
yeah. No, you're right.
That's
There
what,
you have
yes.
to run intervention. I agree. I
Yes.
got that
Just to complete the whole equation, I'll say.
picture.
Jai Sachidanand.
Jai Sachidanand.
Jai Sachidanand. Thank you. Kashyap.
Regarding first I will tell one experience and and then one question I would like to ask. So regarding this, who is the doer? A very interesting thing which always comes into my mind. Who is one who is saying, I am like I am Shudhdhatma like Dada Bhagwan. This always comes to my mind. So because see, you say Shudhdhatma is not able to speak, right? So who is saying this,
Deepakanandji.
Tell me.
Yes.
See, first of all, Shudhdhatma didn't get realized that I am Shudhdhatma. One who was saying I am Dr. Kashyap, his belief changed from wrong belief to right belief that I am pure soul. And now, with this right belief, he is going to get away with all his rest of the mistakes, because this was identified and said by Dada Bhagwan as blunder. The biggest and the first wrong belief. He said, I am Kashyap is blunder. And this blunder cannot be eliminated by any individual. It can only be done by an enlightened person, Dani Purush. Which Dada did it for you. Now who? Not to the Shudhdhatma. One, he was saying, I am Kashyap, I am doctor, I'm so and so, I. So that I, from wrong belief, you got the right belief that I am pure soul, I am Shudhdhatma. Now, based on that central, pivotal, right belief with which your blunder got eliminated in totality, you are going to fight with the rest of the beliefs. And when they also get eliminated, that middle portion, which was just claiming as I am Kashyap, gets totally eliminated. So then your intervention with the relative, that is Kashyap, now has stopped totally. So both have become independent.
So
did you understand it?
The one who the ego who claimed that I was Kashyap now saying I am Shudhdhatma, like that is what you think.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
So here again I read one interesting thing which I would like to tell that
Yes.
see, so even the one with the belief cannot speak, right? Okay, so he has the bhav, but yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So
He is not speaking.
yeah,
He's
no,
not
he is not
speaking.
speaking.
The
He has the
belief.
bhav. He has the
Okay,
bhav,
go
but
ahead.
he is taking help of the prakriti to say that, by saying the vidhi, he is taking the help. So it is like a partnership, which Kaviraji also says. It is a partnership between the one who is the intermediate state person and the prakriti, that we get to do the vidhi. This is what I understood.
Okay, let us understand this. Left side is Kashyap, Dr. Kashyap. Right side is pure soul, perpetual entity. The middle belief part was saying, I am Dr. Kashyap. So he was causing new karma. While previous karmas were getting discharged, because of his wrong belief that I am Dr. Kashyap, he was causing new karma. And it was going on.
Yes.
Now that I got realized and says, I am pure soul. So now he's facing Shudhdhatma. But he has a lot of work to do with Kashyap because Dr. Kashyap is not normal and natural. Although your primary wrong belief as blunder has gone, that I am pure soul, that's right. But a lot of work is needed to be done because Dr. Kashyap is not normal and natural. So to get away with that intermediate state, taking help of pure soul on one side, that is pure soul knowledge light, vision light. He tried to understand Dr. Kashyap, the rest, to get away with the rest of the wrong beliefs.
Right.
And that is where whatever he does inside, that same was saying, I am Kashyap. So that thing was getting reflected on Kashyap. Now he is saying, I am pure soul. His belief has changed. So that belief gets reflected on Kashyap, and Kashyap is saying, I am pure soul.
Reflection happens.
Inside,
Whatever happens inside, the belief, the reflection happens outside. This
correct. So that inner belief, the inner right belief, slowly gets reflected on Kashyap, and that wrong belief will get totally eliminated. All wrongdoing of Kashyap will get eliminated. That's why it is said, how well and firm you are inside will eventually get reflected on Kashyap. And this will take 2-3 lives.
Okay, I got it.
You understand?
Yeah, I understood.
And when it, like, now imagine this inner side, intermediate enlightened state. It has got away with Kashyap. Kashyap has become perfect, normal, natural. Because one thing, what Kashyap has got from the past karmas is not normal, is not natural. So how Kashyap is going to become normal and natural? Who will do it? You tell Dada Bhagwan, you tell Chimandra Swami Bhagwan, you tell any Aptaputra, you tell any Mahatma. That's not my job. It's your baby. Do you understand?
Right.
So your inner, that's why it is said you have 2 jobs to do. One is stay in pure soul when files are not there. So when Kashyap is normal and natural, no other thing, then you stay as pure soul. But when you find any problem with Kashyap, any abnormality, then it is your duty by relative viewpoint that you have to correct Kashyapji. That's what you are doing. So what corrections you do inside, what you understand inside, gets reflected in Kashyapji, and he corrects himself.
Yeah, correct.
You understand?
Yeah, understood. Correct.
It is said that, I'll better say in Hindi, खुद से खुद का छेद होता है.
खुद से खुद का?
खुद से खुद का छेद होता है. You are purifying yourself. That is, Kashyap is purifying Kashyap through that intermediate enlightened state relative viewpoint, Agna. And when Kashyap has become perfect, because now discharging effect of Kashyap is also there. But then you got away with all the wrongdoing of Dr. Kashyap. And through your inner enlightened state and right vision, right understanding, you have corrected Kashyapji. So imagine that state left and right. This is a pure soul, perpetual entity, and Kashyapji has become normal and natural. So what job has remained for you to do in the infinite enlightened state? Nothing. And that time, that means you are very close to pure soul. You got away with all things to be necessary for Kashyap to become normal and natural and perfect. So at that time, a moment comes which is said, ascension it is said. English it is said ascension, and here it is said Shapak Shreni. So that intermediate state gets eliminated and both becomes normal. That is going to happen when we have Simandar Swami Darshan. Right? So our biggest effort today is getting away with all the shortcomings of Dr. Kashyap. And that's what our India with an enlightened state is doing. With the help of pure soul Prajna Shakti, light, which is guiding intermediate enlightened state to correct Dr. Kashyap perfectly.
Yeah, even the prajna
With
is
all the
needed.
vision and understanding given by Dada Bhagwan.
Even
That's how we
prajna
try
light,
that, basically.
even prajna light is needed here. Then only
100%. Without that light, there is nothing. You can't see anything. You cannot know anything. There is, you cannot understand anything.
But, yeah,
Vision light is very important.
in
That
this
is with which you
transformation,
understand Kashyap.
lot
That you
of
understand
lot of
Kashyap right.
factors are there. Prajna light is there, and then the outside thing is it gets reflected. This all things are needed. We also we need the body for and the mind. That is why I understood that they say Bhadra says we need the body and the mind take good care of it. That's for enlightenment. Is part of that.
Not that we need, we understand in our enlightened state, intermittent enlightened state, there are a lot of flaws with Dr. Kashyap. He's not normal, he's not perfect. That is why it's your duty to fix. That's why he said, you have been released, you are liberated. But unless you make Dr. Kashyap normal and natural, your freedom, your liberation is not complete. You will have to hang around with incomplete abnormal Kashyap. So that's why, by relative viewpoint, you are fixing Dr. Kashyap. Correct?
Correct. Good.
Okay?
Yes. Thank you.
Pulinanandji, unmute karjo.
Then it's okay. I think generally everything is covered up. It's the intermediate I.
Okay, Kashyapa, you have another question. Go ahead.
Yeah, one thing I wanted to share and ask also. So just a minute. This very interesting thing where in Dadavani, number then English page 27. The one who is embodiment of love can bring about salvation. He says that हमने भगवान वश था ही गया. The translation I am not sure. It is in Gujarati. It says "Mane Bhagwan vash thai gaya." So in that English translation, I am not sure if it is the perfect one. Yet the God is differential and pleased with me. Here also it says He's pleased with us. He says that I have to do whatever you tell me. If I do salvation of this person, then He brings about His salvation. So then you don't want the God to be pleased with you too. Yes, you need that much love, though so much love must arise for God, such love that the God will become an subservient and be pleased with you. So what is the meaning of Bhagwan Vash Thai Gya? So this is what I really want to understand.
ભગવાન ભગવાન વશ થઈ ગયા એટલે શું કે અંદર ફૂલ પ્રગટ થઈ ગયા છે and he's
if you want I can show the Gujarati one also, if you want. Should I show the Gujarati text also?
let's see. Let's see.
या प्रेम स्वरूपी करे कल्याण. Okay, so here it says ભગવાન મને વશ થઈ ગયા છે. વશ થઈને રહેલા છે. એ કહે છે તમે કહેશો એ મારે કરવાનું હું કે આનું કલ્યાણ કરો તો એને કલ્યાણ કરે ત્યારે એવા વશ નથી કરવા ભગવાનને વશન કરવા છે. હા, તો એટલો પ્રેમ જોઈને પણ ભગવાન પર એટલો બધો પ્રેમ ઉત્પન્ન થવો જોઈએ કે ભગવાન વશ થઈ જાય એવો પ્રેમ. So what is the meaning of ભગવાન વશ થઈ?
What's the idea? And it is in my control. That means he has got, basically, he has reached a very high enlightened state where he is in constant touch with Shudhdhatma, or in that awareness stage that I am Shudhdhatma, Kevad Darshan, as he had said. So that means he has got all the light and wisdom of the pure soul. And then based on that, he is doing all the Jagat Kalyan. And it's just a phraseology or a way of putting things. Bhagwan mane wash thai gaya che. That means I am almost like God. God, we cannot say that, no? Mane Shudhdhatma એટલે ભગવાન જેવું થઈ ગયો છે. એટલે મને wash થઈ ગયા છે. He has used that word. He has used a local word where people will not object to it.
His godly attributes have come.
The godly attributes have fully manifested within me. And then I have the powers of, doing the kalyan of anybody and everybody. That's all he's trying to say. But otherwise, if he puts it very in this plain manner, then it will sound very egoistic. So he has put it that way. Bhagwan mane wash thai gaya che. I've got total self-awareness of the Shudhdhatma. And total bliss is, I'm full of bliss, prem swarup as they say it. And then I am now showering this prem or this kalyan, welfare of others. Now, in particular, this person, so if you want to also experience my state of where God is subservient to me, he said, you must also have that much love for God. Essentially, what he is trying to say is that you must also have the yearning to become pure soul or to experience the pure soul totally. And once you have that much of yearning and love for the God, yearning comes when you love somebody. When you love somebody, then you want to do whatever he wants to say. So have so much love for God, have the inner yearning to become like Lord, and then your Lord will also be within you. He's trying to basically pull him back from love for relative things to love for the real pure soul. But he's put it in some local, some simple colloquial language. That's all.
Yes, sir.
Vasthav yani fully manifest within. That's all.
Yeah, I got it.
Deepakanandji, you there?
Yes. First of all, Dr. Kashyapji, I hats off to you with your wonderful efforts of finding things.
Actually, hats off to you. No, actually, hats off to you, Mahatmas and Rajniji, so not hats off.
Whatever it is. I will say that's your humility, but the kind of hard work you are doing, trying to find things and correlate and try to understand things. Number one, inside God cannot do anything. That clarity we must all have. But that inside God, with its power of knowledge and perception, it can purify the Pudgal, that is the relative, to such an extent. If Dada says anything, it happens. And that is universal principle. That is, when we say Dada says anything, A.M. Patel says anything. So A.M. Patel had reached such a level of ultimate purity that he says, I tell Dada to do things. But that inner Dada purified that high enlightened state because of his total devotion to inner Dada Bhagwan. He has reached that totally clean, purified state. And that purified relative, wherever he says, it blesses, things happen. Do you understand that? That's why he has said the power of God has opened within him. So he is not claiming that power, but he says it is Dada Bhagwan's power. So God has is in total control, is in his control. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
So he says if he tells for some time that okay, God do his welfare, it happens. So God cannot say anything, but his purified state, when he sees that kind of devotion to others, I mean in others, naturally this blessing come in A.M. Patel and that things happen. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
Maybe I'm not able to express rightly, but
No, I understood.
excellent. Excellent.
Yeah.
We can understand from this Dada Bhagwan, that is A.M. Patel's total devotion to inner Dada Bhagwan. The way he was saying that whatever inner light of Dada Bhagwan showed him his smallest mistake, he never sat idle and he completely eliminated, I'll say, annihilated those wrongdoings, all his mistakes, due to which he has become perfect. That level of perfection, that he had that, even I'll say, guts to say that inner Dada, you can go now. But you know what he had said? Inner Dada is telling A.M. Patel, where will I go? I must find that purified, dedicated, worshipful state who remains totally attuned with me, which A.M. Patel was with inner Dada. And with that level of purification, whatever he said would happen. So, but he claimed all those attributes to inner Dada Bhagwan because body is helpless. Do you understand? Body cannot do anything. It is in the hands of Vyavasthith. That's why he said, I have no power to even to break a puppet. But that inner God has all the power to uplift anyone to moksha.
Right.
Anyway,
Yeah.
thanks again.
Okay.
Jai
Thank you.
Sachidanand.
Jai Sachidanand.
Yeah, Miraben?
Jai Sachidanand. Jai Sachidanand Pulinanandji, Deepakanandji. Can you see me? No.
No, we cannot see
Sorry,
you. We can
Vijay.
hear you.
There you are.
Okay,
There.
now we can see you.
Jai Sachidanand, Deepakanandji, Pulinanandji, Rajnikaka, all
Jai
the
Sachidanand.
Mahatmas.
Sachidanand.
Thank you. I have one question. We've been talking about Vyavasthith and we talk about Shudhdhatma. Now, going back to doing Purusharth, that we are not the doer, but Vyavasthith is the doer. I am doing that Purusharth. Meera is doing that Purusharth. And in the interim state, I'm seeing Meera, like every time Meera does something, I tell Meera, it's not you, it's Vyavasthith. But sometimes when Meera is feeling, I've also noticed when Meera is feeling that, she doesn't know what is going to happen, she prays to Dada. So Meera says, Dada, give me strength. Dada, do this. Meera doesn't pray to Vyavasthith. But Vyavasthith is called Shakti. So Meera's previous, the thing we always think Shakti is Devi and, the Shiva and Shakti and all of, it's Vyavasthith. But so that's part one of my question. Part two of my question is, once Shudhdhatma, Vyavasthith doesn't touch Shudhdhatma, but Shudhdhatma is living as well. But this Pudgal is also living, no? That's my second question.
Deepakanandji?
Deepakanandji. So that first question is, does Meera prays only to Dada? Meera does not pray to Vyavasthith, even though the name Shakti is there and Shiva Shakti, that. Second is, Shudhdhatma is living. Is this Pudgal actually living or no?
Deepakanandji?
Jai Sachidanand.
Yes, Sachidanand.
Meera, I'm really happy. I'm really happy and overwhelmed with all these Mahatmas. Great.
Math questions.
Okay. First of all, this body is machinery. That's why it is a Nischetan Chetan. Just by its ability to move, it is not called Chetan because it has no power of knowing. It has only power of action, doing. So although it appears like Mira is living, Mira is not living, but the matter associated with Mira and in connection with pure soul is not a dead matter or inert matter with which Mira is made. So like it say, let us say, this is an inert matter. Can't see. Moment. Hold on. This is an inert matter. There is no living aspect in this. But this body which is made of matter only, Parmanu only, it is associated with the pure soul. So it is called live matter. This is called inert matter. So the living aspect attributed to Mira is by virtue of the presence of the soul. In principle, Mira is not living. In principle, it is because of the pure soul presence that the living aspect is experienced by ego. I am living. Correct? One more Dada Bhagwan has said, Pudgal also has infinite strength. What we talk about Shakti, power. But pure soul is infinite, multiplied by infinite power. Ananta Shakti. The reason is nobody can intervene with pure soul. Nobody can reach pure soul. Nobody can tamper with the pure soul. But ego can tamper with the Pudgal, that is relative, due to which this is our state of impurity, weakness, and whatnot. Whatever weaknesses, whatever shortcomings is there within Mira is because of the crooked, visionless ego. But now that ego is enlightened, I am pure soul. So, and how has that happened? It is because of grace of Dada Bhagwan, with which so many wrongdoings and what he used to say that Bhranti karma in relation to ignorance got annihilated, got burnt during the Gnan Vidhi. And the outcome is we have realized ourselves as I am pure soul with total conviction and decision. So with this inner right belief which is open, which has freed us from ego that I am Mira, now with our connection with pure soul as I am pure soul, with total belief that without any doubt that I am pure soul, now with the help of pure soul light, Mira is doing all that. In the sense, she's asking for that strength, whatever shortcomings she sees in Mira, she asks from Dada Bhagwan. And if she is not doing, any prayer to Vyavasthith Shakti, which Dada has also said, in times of problem, you pray to Dada Bhagwan, you pray to Vyavasthith also, please deliver it fast. The idea is that inner desire, whatever Mira has, who is going to accomplish, Dada Bhagwan or Vyavasthith?
Miraben?
You are muted.
Who is
Who is
going
going to fulfill, who is going to deliver, Vyavasthith Shakti or Dada Bhagwan?
Dada only. It is Dada.
No.
Vyavasthith.
No.
Vyavasthith.
Vyavasthith Shakti.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
But
Mm.
So all activities are attributed to Vyavasthith, but with our new vision, right vision, I will say, whatever we are projecting, now Kalam and rest of the all positive projections, what we are doing in the presence of pure soul enlightened state, we are doing it without doership, yet it is causing positivity in our Pratishthitatma, which is getting caused, the new Pratishthitatma, which is being generated now, which is going to take us to Mahavidya Kshetra.
Correct.
With all the burden of wrongdoing, we were wandering in the four life forms. And we came to Bharat Kshetra with in Kalyug time. But we were fortunate that we got enlightened from Dada Bhagwan and his Yog Bal, his divine presence in all the Mahatmas. So, with that, if Meera is asking from Dada only, eventually it is going to go to Vyavasthith. Because Dada said, you told me, fine, I will tell Vyavasthith to send. You understand that? So it is like you are using central divinity of Dada Bhagwan and asking him to do things. But he says, okay, you have reached the wrong person. I will send your request to the right agency and finally that agency will supply you. Because that agency, I don't fight with that agency.
Correct. Okay.
You understand? Because
Correct.
although you are asking from Dada Bhagwan, it is reaching Vyavasthith only. But it's like with that cheat of Dada Bhagwan, you are telling Vyavasthith, Vyavasthith says, I'm helpless. I will do it. But then you have to wait for your time. I don't decide that time. Even Vyavasthith says, I don't decide that time. That time is decided by you only. That is me, Ra. Fine.
Understood.
Good.
Understood.
Thanks again.
Yeah, Manslachi. Thank you. Thank you.
Pulinanandji?
No, it's covered up basically to summarize. Hira is Nischetan Chetan. The real word is Nischetan Chetan. So it's a discharge, all one nothing and what is discharge. So that answer whether it is live and dead. It is live and dead both. Dead in the sense it is no doership is there. Live in the sense activities are taking place. Discharge activities. So that Hira is Nischetan Chetan. And you see, basically praying to Dada and Vyavasthith is almost similar. Since people see Dada in a personified form, it is very easy to talk to a person rather than talk to something abstract like Vyavasthith Shakti. So it is only a ease of prayer. When you talk to a person, you feel, I've addressed my query to someone. So when you pray to Dada, obviously it goes to Vyavasthith only. Or when you leave it to Dada, sometimes we surrender, I can't understand, Dada, you take care. So when you surrender, Dada is surrendering to basically Vyavasthith. And in surrender, essentially what happens is Buddhi is absolved or Buddhi becomes minus. Buddhi doesn't participate. I'm surrendered. So then what will happen? So it's, I don't have to. The intellect has become inactive, sort of. It's wait and watch type of thing. The same way, when you pray to Dada, this is to be done, this is to be done. So it's basically prayer goes to Vyavasthith, where then based on that prayer, supporting circumstantial evidences come together. Supporting circumstances come together to fulfill your desire or prayer. Dravya, Kshetra, Kad, Bhav, we say. So Bhav, your desire is one of things. Then the other supporting evidence of time, space and other materialistic things, then they fall in place. And it will come at that time, at their time, because you see, your punya also has to come into force, no? Your merit. If you're undergoing papa, then that will not come into play right away. Only when that's over, then the punya will come into play. So that is a factor of time. When it will come into fructification.
Yes.
So it's the same thing. You can even pray to Vyavasthith. Those who are little more aware, so you can even pray to Vyavasthith. Okay, that please do this. But that it's not very easy. It's very easy to relate to a person. But I think it goes over there only. Some
Then I'll
very some very sticky things.
Mm.
Well, now it's slightly controversial and difficult for me to really explain, but all I can say is that sometimes in very tricky situations or sticky files or something, Dada, prayer to Dada also works. Some divine intervention comes.
Mm.
In a way, physically Dada won't say, but through some other medium or some person, Nimit, Apta, Putra, Mahatma, something, that flash of help will come, a flash of guidance will come or something. So in a subtle way, Dada also works. So Dada does work, JSS also works, is both ways, It's a very fine line. I'm just putting across a point, but I'm saying without getting into it, just carry on whatever suits you. Pray to Dada or Vyavasthith, it'll ultimately come at one place.
Okay. So it'll just come. Okay.
It will just come. Dravya Kshetra card bound. Because ultimately, whatever you're doing is just to clear your obstacles on the path to moksha. Relative help is only to clear the obstacles on the path to moksha. So it'll come. So sometimes prayer to Dada works in the sense, sometimes it goes to the inner Shudhdhatma, where I want to clear my vision, clear my understanding, clear my knowledge, so that I get more insights or more margdarshan, more help from inside. What to So it works in weird ways. It does help. Sometimes physically things from outside, some person helps. Sometimes our inner vision gets sorted. Sometimes external situations come into foreplay. That I'm not well. Please help. Sometimes help in medical terms. Anything, help, house, money, whatever. So it works in all formats. What the prayer is for. So just carry on, whatever suits you. Ultimately, the appropriate agency will be at work. Whether it is Dada or Vyavasthith. Essentially, it is Vyavasthith. And I tell you, a very subtle point which should not be very, very widely, only the really who understand can understand it. This prayer is also part of Vyavasthith. And when you pray, that is part of Vyavasthith, and that you are destined to get the results. It has come via this prayer. Sometimes when Dada was there, we used to pray and Dada say, okay, I've done Vidhi for you and I've telephoned the respective deities and they will clear your obstacles. So then the question is, has my Vyavasthith changed because of this prayer? That my obstacle has gone away and I spoke. No, that you were to pray to Dada and Dada to pray to deities was also part of Vyavasthith where you were destined to get it.
Yes. Okay. Yes.
But this is very subtle. People might misuse it, If it's in my Vyavasthith, even I'll pray, I'll not do prayer. No, then Purusharth will get sidelined. So it's a very dangerous thing. Only a very clear this is just to understand the true science, but not get complacent and say, oh, if it's in my Vyavasthith, I will pray.
No, I understand.
To be taken with extreme caution. So that is a piece of information to be kept back behind the back. Continue with the Purusharth of prayers.
Okay.
Continue the Purusharth and prayers.
Yes.
That is all. Ultimately, we are concerned with the results.
Jai Satchidanand. Thank you. No, both of you have in 2 sentences, 5 sentences, explain Dada's Jnana completely. Jai Satchidanand.
Deepakanandji, you want to say something?
Yeah, just quick. What Dada has said, he has reached that highest level of purity. If you refer Dada in any of your work, any obstacle that are coming or were coming to you because of your doing, they will go away because of his purity and because of his intervention. So if we try to say, I don't want to use Dada's, purity, I will do it myself, then doesn't do it. But then he says, when you lose all your hopes, come in, because he said, you have held the hand of Dada Bhagwan, who is totally free from all obstacles, all shortcomings. So with that, all your obstacles will get eliminated. Jai Sachidanand.
Jai Satchidanand. Okay.
Jai Sachidanand.
So Subir Bhai.
Jai Sachidanand. Pulinanandji, Jai Sachidanand, Deepakanandji. I think my audio is on.
Yeah, it is.
Yes,
Yes. I have just come across a saying from a great saint from overseas that the desire to speak all and listen to none is greed. Low. So how can we correlate with this saying to our Dadaji's Gyan? Can you correlate this one, or is it true?
Vidanji?
See,
should I
one
repeat?
greed is.
Deepakanandji. Pulinanandji.
Now, what did you say? Me?
Should I repeat?
Yeah, please.
This is greed, the desire to speak to all and listen to none. This is the saying.
This is one viewpoint, and he must have said this in some reference to context to drive home some point, Basically, it's not greed. I would say it also put it as ego, that I know, I know something, I know everything. Rather, I know everything, so I keep on speaking and speaking. Why I don't listen? Because I don't need to listen, because I know everything.
Right.
Because I know everything, I don't need to listen to anybody. So then I, because I know so much, then I keep on speaking to others and telling them, sharing or whatever, guiding, whatever, So in a way, it's an ego. And in a way, I know something. So it will remain in that point of frame of mind. It's ego. Greed, I don't know how you are going to correlate it with greed. Greed means, to acquire something, acquire more and more of something, and not let go of whatever you have, whether it is money, wealth, money or possessions or even pride, So this, if at all, it could be said that this is the greed of the ego. એટલે માનનો લોભ જેને કહેવાય ને, માનનો લોભ છે. I know everything. I am something. I can give to others. I can share. I know this. So there is an ego, and then I'm protecting it. So then it's the greed of the pride, manno lob. So
actually, I am in line with your explanation. That's why I wanted to cross check, because this is greed only because of the man ki lob, man ki bheek, whatever you call it. So that way it can be it can be greed. Otherwise, it is just a ego. What you told. This is my viewpoint also. I wanted to cross check.
What happens? I know everything, so I keep on talking to people. People listen to me. I don't need to listen because I know everything. And then more and more, I try to protect that or reinforce that and get more and more man, more and more pride. So that way it becomes greed. You're not letting go of that state. I know everything. To not let go of that is greed. Now, when holding on to anything is greed, basically.
Right.
Material or non-material. This is a non-material. I know, that state.
Right.
So
okay, Subir Bhai?
Yeah.
Okay, Soham?
No, one more thing, sorry. One more thing. The previous explanation with the other madam, this Vyavasthith Shakti, either to pray to Vyavasthith Shakti and or Dadaji. I have my own viewpoint is that you can, always our mindset is to a murti or something like that, which you can concentrate. Vyavasthith Shakti is infinite. So you cannot concentrate as a Vyavasthith Shakti. See, always pray to Dadaji will help more as a sincerity or something like that. Though the result will come as one only, same only, but to focus on Dadaji and pray, that will be more beneficial for us and easy to us. This is my viewpoint. And I used to follow this one early.
as I said, now do what suits you. It'll go. The respective agencies will come and help you.
No, but
Whatever.
Vyavasthith Shakti is a vast thing. How he can concentrate Vyavasthith Shakti? How
Vyavasthith
do
is
you say,
abstract.
hey,
No,
Vyavasthith Shakti, pray?
You can. And at times, Dada Bhagwan has said also, pray to Vyavasthith. It is possible. I've got a fleeting this thing somewhere that Dada has said, Vyavasthith mein pratna karjo, pray to Vyavasthith. And it does work, And now it's very difficult to put it how, but I'll give one small example. This Jatra was there, na? So I had prayed to Vyavasthit. By if I were to fall ill, because it was an extreme cold, na? And my temperament, I am not so comfortable with extreme cold weather. My body temperament is that extreme cold weather doesn't suit me so much.
Right.
So, but I said, I'm going. So I said that if I have to fall ill, may I fall ill after the Jatra? Let the Jatra go well. કહેવાનું શું કે ભોગવો તો છે. I mean, that suffering is destined. I'm only asking it to postpone the suffering. I'm not saying I'll not suffer. I'm saying, hoga, so let it come after the Jatra, because I don't have that much capacity to suffer as well as the Jatra, I just very briefly say, because I've a live example, Deepakanandji was there. Once from Bombay, all Mahatma, a group of Mahatmas and Dada and Apta had gone to Mahabaleshwar, one Mahatma's hotel. And there Dada was not well even before, and there he was really unwell. He could not come out of the room, and a lot of stuff and all that. When I think 1 or 2 days passed, and finally one day they said, Dadaji, aap khali chalo, you just ride in that bogie or car. We will only follow you, and we'll just take a round around that place, hotel and surrounding city, town, hill station. And it was so cold. Dada was extremely miserable. He could not withstand it, so he put his hand inside his coat pockets, and then he just doing tap, just doing tap. No, but Mahatmas were really very happy. Dada is with us, and we got chance to meet Dada and all that. And then the whole round took place, and they came back, and Dada was seriously severe asthma and all that. And we had to take him to Pune and not Bombay, because Bombay he would not get the required rest. All Mahatmas around him. And then only, I think 3 or 4 October, we went to one Mahatma's in Pune, where he had to be really given allopathic medication, which is a very rare instance. He normally would not take medicines, if at all, little bit of Ayurvedic, and last he was taking a little bit of homeopathic. But we had to deliver him allopathic treatment, because he asked, we told Mahatma, Ana mate kahin kairu? I mean, he indicated his body, iske liye kuch kiya? Very bad state. And then, of course, gradually he got treatment, and then he got out of it and all. But he had the capacity. This is part of my Vyavasthith. He could see his Vyavasthith. That Mahatma was saying, I have to go, my body is not permitting, let us do it. And then he passed through that. He exhausted that suffering. I know, bhogat liya, and sab khatam kiya unhone. So he could do it. He had that infinite capacity.
Right.
So that means he understood, ya maro bhogoto આવ્યો છે, ya maro hisab આવ્યો છે, જમા કરી દો. My body is not permitting, but circumstances so that I have to do it. So, jama kar. So that is the way he squared off with understanding of Vyavasthith.
Right.
So I knew that if this is my part of my Vyavasthith, इसमें होने वाला है, so I only prayed for a stagger. Okay, let it come after, and it happened that way only.
Right.
Not that I invited it, but it was the point was, the whole point I'm saying is that somewhere prayer to Vyavasthith under some situations works. Now, there is no blanket one fits all solution. Situation to situation, circumstance, prayer to Dada will work, prayer to Vyavasthith will work. As I said, prayer to Devis also work. Dada Bhagwan ke Prakriti jo hai to Amba Mane pray karo. So everything is right at its own viewpoint, in own perspective, in own situation. So as I said, whatever comes to you, pray, the respective agencies will work. Whether it's Dev, whether it's Dada Bhagwan, it is Vyavasthith, X, Y, Z. Yes.
Here one small point.
We need to move on, Subir Bhai.
Sorry, last one.
I'm sorry, what did you say, Subir Bhai?
Unmute.
can we pray like this? Hey Dadaji, hey Vyavasthith Shakti, hey Shasan Rakshak Devdi, means you are multiple, addressing to multiple? No. What do you suggest?
Great. एक simple रखो, make it simple. Don't worry. This is again intellect getting into the whole process and messing up things. सहजा सज्जित करो ना. And कुछ नहीं समझ में आए तो keep Dada in the center. Short and sweet. This is, fine tuning and going into second and third order of depth just to understand the science that is working. But keep it simple. Pray to Dada. Then it will evolve. Whom to pray, that will automatically come within you, and the respective will happen. Keep it simple.
Okay.
Just keep it simple.
Okay. Jai Sachidanand.
Jai Sachidanand. Sonpai?
Jai Sachidanand Pulinanandji, Jai Sachidanand Deepakanandji. Deepakanandji, as you said just a few minutes back, that if you are stuck in any situation, just leave it to Dada or Vyavasthith. So I just want to share one experience. So few months back, when I was driving my car, and suddenly this cops pulled me over on the side, and suddenly Dada came in my mind, and I just prayed Dada that Dada, please take care of this situation. So normally, whenever any police officer pulled you over, they will give you a ticket or for fine, mostly. So when he came to talk to me, and he was like really gentle, and he gave me one option that if I give the why he pulled me over, he will just leave me. So normally when they come, they just tell our offense and they just give us a ticket. So I did not realize for 1 or 2 minutes that why he pulled me over, and then suddenly I realized that I was using my phone while I was driving. So that's why he pulled me over. So he just gave me 1 or 2 minutes, just for a quick lecture, and then he just left me. So I just want to share that in this situation, I just leave everything to Dada, and he really helped me.
Ganji?
See, just like just by praying Dada, you got away with few dollars, I will say. Then if you pray Dada, he can get away from all our karmas. Jai Sachidanand.
Okay,
Jai
Jai Sachidanand. Our time is up. So Deepakanji, please do 3 mantra. Everybody
Jai
follow.
Sachidanand.
Jai Sachidanand.
Namo Vitragai.
Namo
Vitragai.
Namo Arihantanam.
Namo
Arihantanam.
Namo Siddhanam.
Namo Siddhanam.
Namo Ayariyanam.
Namo
Ayariyanam.
Ayariyanam.
Namo Vasayanam.
Namo
Vasayanam.
Namo Loe Sava Sahunam.
Namo
Loe Sava Sahunam.
Eso Panchana Mukkaro.
Eso Panchanamukkaro.
Savabhava Pranasano.
Sabhava Nashno.
Mangalanam Jasavese.
Mangalam
Jasavesam.
Padamam Havai Mangalam.
Namam Havai Mangalam.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namah Shivaya.
Om Namah Shivaya.
Jai Sachidanand.
Jai Sachidanand.
1 minute. Pulinanandji, Deepakanji, we'll continue with this Vyavasthith Shakti because very good observations of Mahatmas. Is it okay? Pulinanandji, Deepakanji?
Very good.
So
Fine.
Mahatmas, let us observe and share your experience. Okay, Jai Sachidanand.
Jai Sachidanand.
Jai Sachidanand.
Jai Sachidanand. Lataben, Lalitaben, Dr. Bhagwan, Jai Sachidanand, Meera, Jai Sachidanand, Dr. Kashyap, Jai Sachidanand, Subhi.